Who was the High Council, though? Was that in the medicine, or was that part of the ceremony? When you said I talked to the High Council, like it was just a standard thing happening here. What was that like?
Yeah, well, it kind of is. I mean, there's like the galactic councils. There's like the High Council that you sit with. Not everybody sits with. I mean, you can. It's available to everyone. I guess I felt like I had sat with the High Council before, even though I had no like real knowledge of that, and I'd heard other people talk about sitting with the High Council. So I just,
Well,
but I
just
don't.
describe it more, because people who haven't experienced that.
Yeah, well, I think
Okay.
for everyone it can be a little bit different, right? And our High Council can be there's High Councils that have very specific representations from starseed families and all that. And I would say that in that session for me, it wasn't like I knew like, oh, you're a Palladian and you're sitting here, and oh, you're a this and you're a that. It wasn't that. It was like it was participating in a high council of beings. I like to look at it as my guides, my higher self. I mean, because everything at the end of the day is a projection. And so there is only one thing, and that is source, right? That is connecting to source and being connected to source. So everything that we see coming down from that dimension is a projection of our mind. But all of these projections can also be helpful, not all of them, but they can be helpful. And so for me, that High Council was a council of my higher guides, my starseed family, my people, and I'll get glimpses of them at different times. Sometimes it's like very like on the ground, like I'll be sitting like, what am I supposed to be doing today? And it's not that I can't come up with a big to-do list of what I need to do. And I'll just sit, and you just kind of wait for the message. And I see, for me, I see them at somewhat of a board table, like they're sitting at a big table. And as you know from psychedelic use, there's also a lot of transmissions that happen that aren't words. So that's why I think it's hard to describe. Like, I can't tell you exactly like, well, here's what we discussed at the High Council, because it's not quite like that. It's feeling into, because what we're wanting to do is upgrade our vibration, upgrade our cellular health, upgrade our expanded consciousness, in consciousness, but also in our physical body, right? Our neuroplasticity. Like, there's things that we're wanting to heal. We're wanting to reconnect some of our gut, microbiome. Like, so there's things that are happening that you could be sitting at the High Council and all of those things could be happening, but you could also be sitting at the High Council and they could be telling you some very specific directives. So yeah, it's a little bit of a hard question to answer. There's a lot of people that can actually speak very eloquently about the High Council because they've spent a lot of time putting framework around that. But I also try not to put a lot of framework around some of these concepts, because then I think we're just getting a little bit more involved in concepts, right?